The never-ending comparisons between Android and iOS are going to continue, as we're going to give you some of our reasons for choosing Google's mobile operating system over Apple's closed ecosystem. So let's get into it. Thanks for watching 9to5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then tap the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. It's taken until iOS 16 for Apple to finally implement the popular always-on display feature we've enjoyed for almost a decade on Android. In typical Apple fashion though, it doesn't work how you'd expect it to. Sure, you can make some customization tweaks and they're welcome, and the profile function is a really nice addition, and we'd love to see that come over to Android. However, always-on displays are vastly superior, at least in our opinion, over here on Android. Take for example the Pixel implementation, which isn't even the outright best. The at-a-glance widget is consistent across your home and lock screens, with quick information for the day, time, weather conditions, and battery level as standard. There's even the underrated Now Playing feature that identifies current music from a locked state, all staples for Pixel phones. And that's just one example. On OnePlus phones, you can tweak and tune the feature with more themes, integrations, and much more on top. Kudos to Apple for adding the function, but we'll take the Android always on display every day of the week. On almost every single Android phone that you buy today, you'll actually gain access to the AI-powered Google Assistant, be that through voice controls, on-screen controls, or even a dedicated button. While Siri itself is okay when it comes to the basics, when we start to look at advanced controls and queries, the Google Assistant is still the outright best. Using your voice alone, you can do some incredible things like basics controlling smart home tech, get information on weather conditions, travel destination times, and all that kind of thing, including reminders. And I think that's just the tip of the iceberg, as it would take a full video to really delve into that. Maybe that's one for the future. On Pixel phones though, you can even do things like real-time voice typing, live translation, and fully control your device without ever having to pick it up. Because you can tie your results to your Google account on top of that, things get even more impressive with integration with more devices than just your smartphone, including third-party services and third-party devices, which have the Google Assistant built in too. Notifications are also one of Google's strongest areas, from status bar icons to indicate an unread notification is waiting for you, to the smart reply feature that lets you quickly reply without needing to open an application, or even the organization of notifications themselves within the quick settings panel. iOS just comes up way short to Android in this integration area specifically. On iPhone, notifications are okay, but they are persistent within the pull down notification center panel until you actually go and manually remove them. This makes things kind of chaotic and unorganized if you have lots of notifications or receive lots of notifications from multiple applications per day. Face ID itself is truly excellent, we can't deny that, but it's not always perfect. While software-based face unlock does exist on a number of Android devices out there, the ubiquity of fingerprint scanners is another reason that we think Android trumps iOS. Whether it's the capacitive or in-display option, not needing to look at your phone to unlock or lock securely is a huge bonus in our book. Certain capacitive or even rear fingerprint scanners allow you the option to control UI elements like the quick settings panel, and we think it's a win-win for accessibility, as you don't actually need to worry about wearing glasses or even a mask to unlock your phone. So all in, or at least we're all in fingerprint scanners. A growing number of Android phones are now starting to offer 100 watt or even higher charging speeds, which can top up your phone in well under 20 or even 30 minutes. Longevity concerns aside, a lot of these chargers will mitigate that with heat reduction. It is hard to deny how nice this feature is when we start to look at phones with slow charging, and there are a few on Android as well. If being able to charge in super quick fashion is something that you simply must have, then there are plenty of Android devices out there from the likes of OnePlus, Oppo, Xiaomi that even offer super fast wireless charging above that 50 watt rate, which is really nice and convenient if you just need to top up your phone quickly before you head out. On top of that, the ubiquity of USB-C means that Android phones are just better catered for current and future tech integration. Apple seemingly reluctantly clings to its proprietary Lightning standard on its iPhones, which offers limited data transfer and even charge speeds along with some durability question marks. It's made all the more confusing when the Cupertino firm actually sells multiple devices that utilize USB-C for charging and data transfers, including the iPad Pro and the MacBook series. That means connecting an Android phone to Mac or even iPad seems to be easier than on an Android phone than it does with an iPhone, simply due to the nature of USB-C. But in time, we may see Apple adopt that as part of a EU regulation. But until then, it's USB-C all the way. If you're shopping for a new smartphone on a budget, you likely have seen devices from the likes of Motorola, LG, Xiaomi, Oppo, OnePlus, and now even Google with their A series. Apple's only affordable iPhone is the SE, which, although a fine device at $399, isn't a great option if you want true bang for your buck. When shopping for an Android phone, you simply just have more choices across the entire price spectrum. Towards the high end, you have devices like the Galaxy S22 Ultra, which definitely goes toe-to-toe with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But once you start to creep down those price charts, things favour a multitude of other Android OEMs like OnePlus, Xiaomi and Google, even with the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 7. So if you want affordable quality, Android is still the way to go. Over the past few years, Google has also steadily decoupled features from Android updates so that users are able to gain new features via Play system changes. This also means that so long as your OS version is supported, which most tend to be, you can get added functionality without actually needing to wait for a full system OTA update from the company that has manufactured your device. Recent examples include the long overdue reading mode. This function can be added simply by installing the application from the Play Store on your phone and works with the existing accessibility features and talkback functions with Android. iOS still though relies on full OTA updates to achieve the same. That means that unless you update automatically, functions can actually be locked behind these patches. That said, iOS does get updates longer, but this also applies to third-party options on Android too, like audio controllers and far more on top of that. Android just makes it easier to tailor your experience by way of these plug-in options, and iOS is left in the dust once again. Just one look at the Apple smartphone portfolio, and although small, you can just see why we have so much more choice over here on Android. Sure, Apple does only produce a limited lineup each year, but Samsung's own flagship efforts span multiple forms. Foldable, flip, and all manner of contraptions exist here on Android, meaning you can pick something that suits you and your personal preferences. While some devices offer different functionality, there are also more screen and size options to suit just what you require, be that a rugged phone or even a battery beast. There are hundreds of combinations that you can tap into on Android that just simply won't and don't exist on iOS. Last but not least, it definitely seems unfair banging the drum for Android customizability, as iOS has actually steadily offered more options to tweak and tune your daily device experience over the past few years. However, if you want to do things like throw a new launcher on your phone or even create a home screen with no apps on that page, then really it's Android or bust. The truth is that Android as a mobile operating system allows you to cater to your own needs a lot more effectively. Do iPhone users care? Probably not, but we're over here enjoying all of the benefits of customizability that come with Google's OS. So there's 10 of our reasons why we pick Android over iOS, and there are probably more than that why you might choose Android over an iPhone. Let us know why you prefer one system over the other down in the comment sections below, and stay tuned as we'll follow up with 10 reasons that we think iOS is better than Android very soon in the interest of fairness. Until next time though, this is Damien with 95 Google, and I will speak to you later.